Chat, here we go. We have got an EU matchup as well. We've got CRR versus Smashy. I was trying to get more 2v2 games. You guys should let me know if you're interested in those 2v2 games, because I've been looking to get the country 2v2s, or I've even been trying to get state 2v2s in America, or maybe provinces we could even do in Canada. You know, some kind of connection between the two players to play in 2 show matches. I've been looking for a bunch of them. And they're just so much harder to find. I think it just has to do with the fact that you need twice as many people as you need for a 1v1. Not to mention all the limitations between who could be teammates. But if you guys would like those, I am trying to find them. I think they're good. I think they're really fun. I like the first couple that we've done. So I'll keep trying. But in the meantime, we always have these entertaining ones games as well. I'm not sure that we have seen CRR play in the Dominus. States would be difficult, you know? Yeah, they are. And like every time I've found close to fair matches, they really aren't that fair. And that's probably the biggest problem. You know, some teams are like ultra stacked, and then some are, you know, not quite as much, and it's just, it's tough. Smashy, eligible bump. Except no bump, but obviously enough to keep CRR from feeling like he had an opportunity to get up and get a save. Chat, by the way, I checked. We have 9 VIP slots left. Only 9. We have 91 of 100 given out, which is a little bit of evidence to the fact that I probably had VIP too cheap. But it is much more expensive now for the last 9 viewers who want to get it. And then I think as soon as we have 100 VIPs, I'm going to open a community goal, which is going to be to reset the VIPs. And it's going to be a pretty lofty, expensive goal, but everyone can band together to reset them, give themselves a chance to get it again. But Smashy looking good. I tell you what, we were talking about how solid Smashy has been playing. Now he's got an opportunity to show that he is, you know, one of the better players. He's doing so far in the first minute 30 against CRR. CRR has looked really, really solid on stream. Made it deep in the swamp. I'm trying to remember where he ended up in the swamp. I think he lost out in the quarterfinals against Moxie. I want to say he had to play Moxie right away, which is tough. Moxie went to win the swamp, so it doesn't really get much harder than that in terms of first round matchup. But also, to Moxie's credit, he really beat him good. I think it was a full sweep, if I remember correctly, for Moxie. And that was probably the last time CRR played, so looking to get a bounce back. The guild member. See if he can do so against Smashy. Smashy, if you guys don't remember, is the #1 drop shot player. I don't know if he still is, because the ranks have reset, so he might not be #1 anymore. But he was when we did that EU versus NA drop shot versus RLCS players in a drop shot. I won't spoil that one if you don't want me to. You guys can go check that out on the YouTube. If you want to see North American RLCS pros versus the rank 1, 3, and 5, something like that, drop shot players in the world. But on top of being an amazing drop shot player, Smashy is also a very solid ones player. As I say that, he leaves the net open. CRR able to slam a long shot on an open net. It's kind of crazy. We just came off of a game of AJ versus Evo, a kind of game that you'd expect to see an insane amount of offense, but it's actually a really clinical defensive bout between the two, I would say. Lots of low-scoring games. In fact, kickoffs seem to be one of the main areas that goals were coming from, and that just goes to show how good their defense was in the open field. Here, we're seeing a little bit more of a fast-paced ones game. Lots more scoring. Nice challenge by CRR. The double is clean, and man, it looks impressive, but it's so easy for these guys. The hard part was getting this challenge so solidly, but as soon as he's floating away from the ball like that, it's a complete layup for a guy like CRR. Now he's got himself tied. Smashy had an early lead. I have to hold off the RLCS player finding his way back. Feer, do you think Kronovi can compete with these insane 1v1 players? We had Kronovi on recently. I've only ever had Kronovi on. That's another great play by CRR. One sec. Let's watch this wall to air dribble. Gets the reset past Smashy. Seems like he put it too far. And he saved enough boost to cash back up to it and pinch it in. Very, very impressive shot from CRR. We had Crr play in Mount 1v1. If you guys don't remember, as always, with everything I've ever done, you can go on the YouTube to check back and see what what happened with the events. But Crr was the first step in the Mount 1v1, which means all the challengers had to try and play Crr, and then I believe it was Scrub, and then Khaled, and then Joreus was the plan. Khaled ended up having to drop out of that event. So there are 4 games of Crr of ones against the recent top players. And although Crr wasn't able to get a win, he did have some close games. Specifically his Daniel game, I believe, went to game 5. So we'll see. I'm hoping to get a bunch of people in this longest ever game of King of the Hill. Hopefully we can get a whole bunch of faces. I have no idea how it's going to go or who's necessarily going to win. Something tells me you're going to have to be a top ones player, and you're also going to have a little bit of time, because you're going to have to be able to rack up a bunch of games. And if you run out of time, maybe someone who will be more committed will be able to rack up more. Did AJ or Evo win? I'm sure chat will end up spoiling it for you. But if you're watching on YouTube, you just click on the previous video, or one of the previous videos. You can go find out. CRR gets a 7th. Smashy trying to break this up in the midfield. He had enough boost. He was hoping to get a touch and then power through it with all the extra boost he had, but CRR was able to hold him off completely. Start to extend his lead. Hasn't looked good for Smashy in the past few minutes. I want to say he had a 4-2 lead. Since then, it's been a 3-1 swing for CRR. Might have even had a 4-1 lead. CRR looking to try and maintain possession here. As he wave dashes into the corner, he beats Smashy. Smashy has to continue to play with 0. If CRR finds a way to score this, it's going to be truly amazing. It's almost impossible once that ball is close enough to the wall that a small single jump can challenge. There's basically no way you're going to be able to get it past the defender unless they lose their mind. Smashy, he loves his air dribble bumps. And why not? Defenders aren't going to keep him out. It is a really solid way to score. CRR doesn't look like he's been able to get around him just yet. They're very tough to do correctly. I think one of the things that people don't realize when they meme on air dribble bumps, especially at the top level with defenders like these, you have to get it perfect. Otherwise, not only are you not going to get the bump, but you almost kind of leave yourself exposed, putting your car on the wrong side of the ball. Smashy's doing a great job of setting these up, making sure his car never really leaves far away from the ball. Want to try and stay as close to it as possible, protect it just on the other side of it. And Smashy might have an opportunity here to tie the game. He doesn't have the angle, but he still has possession, and now he's got CRR in net. Is he going to take to the skies? He will. Is he going to look for a reset on the goal line? No, just a dribble into 50. CRR able to challenge it, but not keep it away. Smashy's going to get another opportunity, and CRR hasn't been able to pick up boost. He can only get pad. Smashy, the reset, and the 7th. Clutch final moments for Smashy. This has been one of the best 0-second possessions from anybody on stream. He did a great job of putting in good shot attempt after shot attempt and not letting the ball hit the ground in the final moments of the corner there. A great touch because he had to reset on the boost. He was trying to get 100. Oh, is he going to immediately kick off goal? Oh, CRR, he basically owned gold. Oh, Smashy. What a game win. An immediate kickoff off the insane 0-second goal. CRR had to be worried about it. Looks to try and clear it away, but instead leaves it directly in front of the net. Man, what a game win from Smashy. You can't say he didn't earn it as he goes up 1-0 in this best of 5. All right, chat. I remember why we have Smashy on. The man's a legend. I looked in the chat. I saw sick, but CRR is probably going to change car once he loses. That is a good guess, because here CRR is in the Octane. Maybe that'll be the only game we ever see CRR play in the Dominus. I want to say we might have seen CRR switch to like a complete meme car one time when he was in the process of getting crushed by somebody. But other than that, he's been a pretty consistent Octane hitbox type guy. I think he does dabble in Fennec occasionally, as almost every player. It's almost not even a talking point because almost all Octane players do a little bit of dabbling with the Fennec as well. There's the occasional Octane for lifers who will say that Fennec is terrible, but other than that, CRR, very dribble, but really far away from the net. Watching that from Smashy's perspective, you can see how he just doesn't need a challenge, but CRR does a great job finding a way to turn it into offense. Taking it down to the ground, popping it right back up to the backboard. Smashy has a 100 boost, and he just didn't even realize he was going to get scored on him. He's being really patient because he thought CRR was in the process of making a mistake with his possession. But instead, CRR, a mechanical wizard, knows how to milk it out into a good shot. Kickoff goal for Smashy. Brings himself back within one. He's been playing since 15. The Fennec has been the move since it came out. For me, the Fennec was the move, and when I started playing the Fennec, which I don't play the Fennec exclusively, but when Chaussette, I forget what major, or sorry, there weren't even majors back then. I think it was a World Championship. Chaussette played in it. You know what? It might have been like a DreamHack or something, actually. I don't know what tournament it was. I bet you someone in chat will remember. But Chaussette had like one of the nastiest tournaments ever, and he did it in the Fennec, and he was like one of the only people using the Fennec at the time. But then everybody was like, okay, the Fennec is sick. And then ever since then, I remember like the Fennec has been, you know, what it is now, which is considered an equivalent of an Octane, basically. And I guarantee you that Psyonix is in the lab thinking, what can we do? We have to create another Octane. I have a feeling it's just good for the game to not have everybody running the same exact car. And I bet you multiple times they've been like, all right, I think this one can do it. I think this one can maybe replace the Octane, or at least take some fans off it. So I'm sure they were stoked when the Fennec finally caught on, and they were like, thank goodness we pulled some of the Octane players off Octane. Or you know what? Maybe they don't care at all. One thing I've thought about is like, sure, the competitive population definitely plays like 70%, 80% Octane. But I wonder if just the rest of the ranks, and maybe chat if you guys play in a lower rank, can say, do you see other cars? Because at Grand Champ, pretty much don't. Oh, CRR, nasty double. Off the ceiling reset. Musty. He just doubles it in casually, able to keep it away from Smashy. He wants his revenge after a spectacular end to game number 1 for Smashy. CRR has had enough. Did he get a reset? No, he didn't. You can see the moments that he tried in case he did have it. But he did not. Here, what do you normally see down in flat? No, don't give me any of that. Don't give me any of that. I won't stand for that. Nice 50. Wave dash. Get back to the play. There are champs that play random cars. There's definitely the occasional guy in a completely random car in Grand Champ 2. But it is pretty rare. Whereas I'm sure, you know, whenever Psyonix releases a car, they want people to buy it, right? I mean, that's the whole idea. They have to make money. So I don't know if their target audience is the competitive players. Are they trying to replace the Octane, or are they just trying to make any sort of car that looks cool for people who are a little bit more casual? Now you're golden. It's all Octanes and the Fennec. Crazy. Yeah, the pros could ultimately make it whatever they wanted. And that's the interesting part. If the pros like decided we're gonna make X car become a meta car, like they just all play it, like just guaranteed, it's gonna flow down. People are just gonna start to believe that it is that good, and they'll switch to it. Nice dribble play by Smashy, working his way back into this one. Oh shoot, my rank is champ 3. I haven't played since it reset. Oh gosh. I've gotta go get that back to Grand Champ. Chat, I promise. Oh yeah, I noticed Joyo didn't play. Wow, Smashy's doing a great job right now. He has gotten a bunch of first possessions off kickoffs. Just worked himself completely back into this game in a way that looked like it wasn't going to happen. CRR was playing so solid at the start. It's a great dribble. But I thought Joyo was going to play his Mustang or whatever, right? Wasn't he playing some other car like a lot coming into the World Championships? Or sorry, not World Championships, but the Major. And then he just played Octane the whole time. Wait, Monkey Moon played the ZSR at this LAN? At this most recent LAN, Monkey Moon played the ZSR? I really don't like the ZSR. I think it, honestly, I don't like either of the modifications. Everyone was so stoked about it. First off, Smashy has now tied the game. Very impressive play. The modifications, like the Dominus GT, and then everyone was so stoked because they heard an Octane one was coming out. But I don't know. I don't really like the ZSR. He used it in the FaZe series. So the series that BDS didn't score. That was crazy. Chat, I don't know if I've been able to talk about that, but that was nutty. The fact that BDS didn't even score, it's like... BDS is North American fans' villains. That's just the reality. You know, they're like the villains, and every good story involves the villain almost winning. And the villain did not almost win at the Major. Not even close. So I was like, I'm all there for the storylines. I wanted BDS to do a lot better. So it's too bad. Smashy, he's now in the lead. A dribble, CRR giving him a ton of space. And the perfect moment that Smashy cuts it to the ground, right when a flick is probably going to come, if he's going to do one. Instead, lets the ball fall off his car and rushes it into the far corner. 45 seconds. Smashy, a demo. That's going to do wonders for him for securing this game. In fact, I'm kind of surprised he's rushing the ball towards the net. He could have held on to possession for a long time, played a bit of keep away, baited CRR in, and then maybe even gotten a 7th off it, but instead, he wants to play quick. I'm going to give him the nod for that. Sometimes players know the way they like to play. If you don't like to slow it down, if you feel awkward slowing it down, don't do it just because the game might suggest you should. You know you're playing better when you stay aggressive, stay moving quick. And I commend you for sticking with that. But right now, he's in a tough spot. CRR has found him out at midfield. I don't know what he was thinking with this backflip challenge, or this backwards challenge. He power slides into a direct shadow directly behind the play. And there's a reason why you don't see players setting that up very often, where there's kind of a direct connection between the ball himself and the center of the goal. Usually you'll see players shadowing slightly off to the side so they can move into their save. Oh no, CRR! It's not going to show us. But man, that felt like he could have scored that. I guess at 0 seconds it was going to be tough. It probably would have hit the ground either way, but definitely was shooting it wide. So now Smashy. Can he go up 2-0 on CRR? He's taking the ball down. The flick is over the top. I felt like CRR actually did a good job of reacting to the play. I thought this double jump would have made it. I mean, it's exactly what you want to see. The flick, oh, he just didn't commit to it hard enough. And it's a good move from Smashy to keep it out of CRR's range. Really impressive first 2 games from Smashy. He is on the verge of sending CRR down in a sweep. Oh my goodness, chat. This is the DeLorean, right? CRR has brought out the DeLorean for game number 3. Nothing else can get him the win. So he's trying to go back in time and start the series from the beginning. Will he be able to? Here in his DeLorean. The initial flick off a kickoff is off the crossbar and in. This is like the only car that you might have a competitive disadvantage for playing. And the reason why is because this is the only car that tells you when you get a flip reset. I want to say the wheels move. You see how the wheels move and point towards the ground when you're flying in the air? Well, when you get a reset on the ball, they go from that flying mode back to the regular mode, and then back to the flying mode again. Which basically suggests, maybe, you know what, I think it maybe switches on your second jump. It switches to the, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but the point is they move when your reset happens. So for the first time, I think in any ones match that I've casted, Smashy as a defender can potentially know for sure whether or not CRR has gotten a reset or not. CRR, nice bit of keep away, high near the ceiling. He's able to get another touch just barely. He had the perfect amount of boost to make the play. Smashy wanted the challenge early. Isn't far off from doing so successfully. CRR goes up 2-0. Pay to lose. Yeah, you're right. It is pay to lose. That being said, CRR is doing far from losing. So he goes up 3-0. 2 of those off of quick plays on a kickoff. Smashy just awkward in that space right where that last pad is. Couldn't decide whether he wanted the backwards challenge or turn and challenge forwards. And wow. You know, if it weren't for the fact that we just watched game 2 where CRR ran it up very similarly and then Smashy came back, I would be saying that all the momentum is in CRR's favor. Smashy, will he get his first? No. Thought he could catch CRR out of position as he went to grab the corner boost, but he's not able to do so. I think this is a car you can't change the boost, right? There are some cars you can't do modifications. Like this one, I think you can only change the color. There's no decals for it. And I'm guessing you can't change the boost because that boost seems to match too perfectly. Smashy has not found any offense here in the first 2 minutes of game number 3. And CRR is going to maybe give him one of his best opportunities yet, handing him a possession. But the pressure of the shadow at the midfield was enough for Smashy to throw a soft flick early. And now CRR maybe trying to fall in front of that ball at the end of the musty. Eventually bumps Smashy out of the way. But he doesn't succeed, and he actually looks for another bump in the corner, and Smashy able to dodge it. Not even sure Smashy was trying to. That was a great mechanical shot to get anything out of that. Still CRR is able to cover it. Oh, that's handed over a free goal. I think, if I know CRR, actually, you know what? He did take a little bit too long. Oh, wait, did he just own goal? No way. He's going to get back. I really felt like if CRR had taken a strong shot instead of trying to dribble it, maybe he just found himself too far past the ball and had no choice. Yo, Stior, first time catching a stream. Good to see you, bud. I assume that means you're coming from the YouTube. And we love to see the YouTube frogs making their debut on stream. CRR has been loving these resets and kind of like pre-flips where he touches the ball with the latter part of his flip. Hasn't been able to turn it in for a goal or an outplay yet. Definitely on the verge of doing so, as those do give a serious pop a lot of players are not going to be expecting. Yeah, I think this also has a trail you can't change. The like fire trail when you go supersonic. Smashy, is he gonna get a goal? Oh no, he can't. He can't dunk this in. CRR needs to play this counter quickly. There's a couple different counters that he hasn't played as fast as he could have, but this time he does. Puts a little bit of flair on it at the end. I think Smashy's recovery was not good. Yeah, well, I'm not sure why he backwards wave dashed. Was he just giving up on it, or did he just brain fart? I don't know. (5-0). There we go, 5-1. I was going to say 5-0 is making us all wonder, how did Smashy do it in the first 2 games? Guess the answer is he didn't have to play against the DeLorean in the first 2 games. You can change the color, and you have an ugly real-life decal. Wait, there's another decal? There's like one other decal you can use on the DeLorean? Is that what you're saying? I definitely think you could change the color because I doubt pink is like the default color. The front of the car like starts to transform or whatever, or like teleport to the electricity or whatever comes off the front of it as soon as you go supersonic. Smashy. Air dribble. Trying to squeeze a 50 down into the net. Can't do so. CRR is looking for clips now, and why not? 30 seconds left to go. It's likely one. Smashy pre-jump challenge, nowhere near. And cannot get the bump either. CRR is the only one to hit 2 triple flip resets in one match. Will we ever see a quad? I don't think we've seen a quad from anybody. We might have seen a quad in like garbage time or something. But CRR's his 2 triple flip resets were, you know, at important parts of the game. It wasn't just garbage time, I don't think. He was actually needing to score. That being said, CRR and the DeLorean will get him his first game win. Smashy seemed to have the edge, but we might see yet another new car from CRR as he leaves the match. The end of his win. Smashy and CRR. CRR is hiding behind the ball. We'll find out what car he is. There it is! It is. I always forget the name of every single car, even though this is a famous one. Oh, can I think of it without looking at chat? I have my eyes closed. Let's see if I can think of it. On the spot. Oh, dude, I can't. The Scarab. I looked at chat. I couldn't think of him. Dude, I don't know why. I always forget. The Scarab is out for CRR. This is the car I was thinking of when I said that RLCS players could make any car meta if they wanted to. If all of them used the Scarab, I guarantee it becomes meta in no time. Smashy, nice shot. We'll watch it from the Scarab's perspective. Is this the default Scarab noise? The engine noise? This is a troll engine noise for sure. Please don't make Scarab meta. Yeah, the engine sound, it kind of sucks. But imagine, like you just know that you'd have to do it. Imagine every top player, like especially all the mechanical players, just start using Scarab, and they just start hitting like all this nasty stuff. You're like, dude, I don't know. I kind of feel like the Scarab might actually be the reason why. Next thing you know, everybody's playing Scarab. What were the developers thinking? I don't know. This is a great car. This is one of the early ones they released, I feel like, right? This one came out with Wasteland. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about how sometimes the clock will reset, you know, from 0 back to 5, and it'll be what, 10, maybe 20 seconds in between games, just no time at all. And then all of a sudden, it just seems like every player is a completely new player, and it definitely has seemed like that for Smashy. Smashy had such a hard time, I feel like, in that last game. And then he comes out just 3-0 so fast, hitting reset shots, just playing amazing, finding tons of offense. Makes you wonder, what is the difference? Is it really just the Scarab? I mean, this happens even when players don't change cars. Can CRR get to this one? No. Good angle. Smashy. Change score. It's 1-2 for CRR. No, it's 2-1 for Smashy. Smashy's at 2-1. Smashy was trying to get a full sweep there, but CRR was able to prevent it with his DeLorean. Smashy staying on ball despite losing the race to the kickoff, or sorry, losing the race to the boost. And wow, nice backflip challenge. Slamming it directly into the net. He knew he had the boost advantage, so he felt pretty confident going for what could be a pretty risky challenge. You know you're going to have the recovery at a much faster rate than your opponent. Don't have to worry too much. There are still situations where you could lose out, and even a zero boost player can, you know, get a shot you can't save, but certainly can be much, much riskier. Smashy unable to get a 50 on the goal line. The Scarab is just too strong. This thing was made for 50s. How could you possibly dream of getting the ball back past a Scarab? Smashy from the corner. Couldn't get around the ball. Get touched towards net. CRR might have just gotten himself a goal with a nice flick over the top of Smashy. I imagine flicks could be tough to get. So it might be hard to get a read on the hitbox when you're playing in the Scarab, but he had no problem. A nice side flip. Launches the ball over Smashy, and now he has himself a 1-goal lead, but 2 minutes in, tons and tons of time. Smashy just got convinced to own goal. The own goal, and then the pool shot from CRR. Smashy doesn't get the wave dash he wanted. He tries to box out CRR and says, okay, I'll try and grab a possession here, but no. He's forced into shooting on his own net. Scarab. Oh, the double fake. It's not often you see this. Wow, that was perfectly mirrored. Smashy is going to come off in the lead, but that was like a piece of art. The perfect fake, the perfect half flip. Oh, man. That was awesome. That was crazy. That was truly beautiful. That was synchronized swimming of Rocket League. Especially considering neither one of them had really been faking the kickoff much at all until that point. I think they both decided, like, for the first time in many, many minutes, if they have been doing it, to fake the kickoff. Smashy to try and find a way to milk this possession for a goal, and either him or CRR have a ton of boost. So he probably feels pretty good about his chances. CRR, the clear, going to buy himself enough time to pick up 100 in the corner. Not enough to gain possession. He's going to have to clear it strong away. So Smashy once again. Early flick off of not really that convincing of a fake challenge from CRR. He isn't even really coming that close to the play. But still Smashy is reacting. Smashy, a nice cut. Maybe learning his lesson here as he holds on to possession much closer to the net. Dribble started all the way from his back corner. Smashy, not the best of final touches, but he actually almost scored off of it. The bounce found its way in. He had one of those touches in the air that changed it from being on line towards the net instead to off target, slightly wide, and it's going to make it so much harder to finish, but he did find a way to at least have an opportunity on net. CRR able to backflip it and keep it out. And a nice flick and a 7th. CRR and the Scarab will maintain the lead and extend it to 2. The side flip, or it's hard to tell. I mean, maybe they're diagonal flips, but CRR, it looked like he's gotten a couple different side flip flicks. Honestly, I feel like they must be diagonals, right? I don't know. Everything is just, it's a ball. How can you tell? Winning in the Scarab is a power play. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I think sometimes you just need like a mental reset. A lot of people will say, you know, oh, they switched to a meme car, they stopped trying, or etc. But I think it does wonders for, you know, putting too much pressure on yourself. Nice dribble. Air dribble bumps from Smashy looked great. But when you put yourself in a meme car, because it can feel like, oh, I lost just because I was in a meme car, all of a sudden you take the pressure off yourself, and then you probably play better than you would have otherwise had. And I feel like that's probably the case here with CRR. You maybe lose a bit of mechanics. Might not be going for the nuttiest shots of all time, and maybe that's another thing that, you know, makes you play better. You feel like you can't rely as much on just being able to hit something nutty, and you start playing a little bit safer, a little bit more, you know, calculated. Maybe that helps you get the win. A nice save and a tap for an 8th. With 20 seconds left to go, it does seem like CRR is going to get a win, first in the DeLorean and then in the Scarab. We have seen the Smashy come back before. Not sure there's enough time anymore. CRR going to play a really safe dribble. Not going to make his move until Smashy makes him, and Smashy really doesn't make him, so he just goes for the double jump at the goal line and has himself a 9th. I think we're seeing a game 5. The question is now, chat, and we said this before, and I'll do it again. If you can guess what car CRR is going to play in game 5, I will gift you a sub. First person to guess the car that CRR is playing in game 5 gets a sub. I almost said auto. All right, chat. Wait, this is the Takumi, is it? This is the special Takumi. Did anybody even get it? Or is this just the regular Takumi? No, I think it's just the regular one. Did anybody say it? Chat, I actually know the name of this one. Wait, is this not the Takumi? It is, isn't it? Snark said it. Yo, let's go, Snark345. I gotta make sure to gift you a sub. Don't let me forget. Takumi gang. Chat, the reason why I actually know the name of this one is because I actually played the Takumi. I actually thought it was sick. But ultimately, I decided it was like too small. But I do think it has a great look. And it seemed like shots were really strong with the Takumi. For whatever reason. I remember thinking like I could shoot him really, really strong, but not accurate. CRR demo. Is he going to get this full reverse sweep and do it in a meme car the whole way? I mean, this one, I guess it's a meme car. Nobody plays it at all. But it's not your classic meme car like a Scarab is. Smashy sticking with his Cloud9 Octane. Nice play off the wall. Has himself his first. But CRR has been able to hold on to the lead for a full 10 minutes, it feels like. Both of the last 2 games held the lead. Now he's starting once again with the lead. 30 seconds into this one. Don't call it a meme car. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think meme cars have to like look goofy. Whereas I feel like the Takumi is sleek, man. You could catch me in the Takumi IRL for sure. Smashy gifted a goal here. Easy enough save. As CRR maybe playing a little bit too confident. See, he took a shot so far away from the net. CRR seemed like a pretty obvious to read challenge. Even then, Smashy not able to get that good of a 50 off of it. Now he's forced to hand over possession, so CRR, while bouncing in front of his net, he knows Smashy's not going to take the risk on a backflip challenge there, so he's able to get it down on top of his car. Let's flick his save. And now, as he retreats to the midfield, he had to give up possession, or so I thought. He can turn infield, take the demo. He's going to play this ball directly towards the net. He wants to be able to catch Smashy off on the respawn, and he does. Nice fast play. It didn't seem like a position where he could even capitalize on the respawn time, but he did. He immediately got up in the air, and Smashy did not get a good spawn for that. Polo for show, 215. Thank you for the brand new tier 1, man. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate that. Nice raw tier 1. That's huge. Hope you enjoy the content. CRR. Was this a fake kickoff that started this? Oh, no. It seemed like a regular kickoff. He just gained possession. It's a really smart play. When you're low on boost and the ball's rolling towards the net, it's going to be hard to win a 50 directly in. Usually just better, especially if the defender's low boost as well. Pull off the ball, and they're likely to make an awkward touch, and you can follow up after that, which is what CRR does. He's looking for a triple flip reset in the Takumi. He doesn't get it. Smashy, air dribble behind the midfield line, air dribble bump. This time CRR sneaks underneath it to get the save. Not the conventional way to save air dribble bumps. Usually the best air dribble bump defenders are up quick, going over the top. I would say Rawas being the #1 air dribble bump defender that I've seen. He almost always goes over the top. CRR, a 5th. It all comes down to Smashy not being able to handle this on the back wall. Was probably hoping to get a chip with the back of his car as he landed up there to pop it a little bit away. But when he didn't, it came too hard to make a play. and cover the angles. CRR reset near the ceiling. Smashy gifted a goal. You could just tell, especially from Smashy's perspective, it was really clear. I'm sure it was from CRR's. Even if he connected on that additional flip reset, where was he headed with that? The only place he could have possibly gone was the corner. Not sure it's worth trying to get that many resets just to hold on to possession. There's better ways to hold on to possession. Smashy, though, he'll show you a way to get a nice shot, as he uses his flip early to pop it a little bit more height, but he does get the reset and then fakes it and takes it low. Great fake. Keeping his car positions in a spot that constantly could be used to take that flick in the air, and that's why CRR is pre-jumping. Smashy is threatening things all the way down to the ground. Smashy, dribble, reset. Oh my goodness, that was almost amazing. Getting such a soft touch off the reset almost made it possible. I mean, this is not the first time that CRR has botched a counterattack. That should have been a goal. CRR has been trying to get a little bit too fancy with his counters. But he has the lead. I'm sure he'd love to win it in style if possible. Ceiling reset here. Cannot 50 Smashy. Smashy, I like this cut, and he gets underneath the Takumi, and he gets a fifth. He saw CRR deep in his half without much boost, so he wanted to make sure he didn't have any time to reset on anything. Cut the ball directly towards the net. CRR just slightly behind the play. It's taken for a ride, and we have got a tied game here in Game 5 with 1:30 left to go. Will it be CRR, who's played a new car in every game so far? Or will it be Smashy, who had some of the most clutch play? I believe it was Game 1, right? In order to win game number 1. Might have been Game 2, actually. I can't remember. It was one of those two. One of the most impressive 0-second plays we've ever seen on the channel. CRR dribble off the bounce to midfield. Smashy gets a save. Can't prevent CRR from being able to pick up midfield and the back 100. CRR, this is a nice 50. Should be a shot on net. Oh no, did he miss wide? He did not. I mean, he did, but he was able to finish it, so ultimately it doesn't matter. Smashy's going to give him a nice one. Smashy gave up on it too. I wonder if Smashy could have somehow gotten a save if he had committed to trying to stop CRR from getting that double. Whether it meant maybe he could just bump CRR or do something, but he pulled away from it, so we'll never know. Smashy air dribble bump. He's loved them, but CRR has him figured out now, and now he's got himself a 7th. And as the game winds down, you never know, that might have been the most clutch defensive play. Really good save. I mean, that's great credit to Smashy. Smashy's setting those up really well. There's definitely times where players go for the air dribble bumps in ways that it's very, it's very poor. It's very on the offender for the fact that it got saved. But Smashy did a great setup, just better defensive play from CRR to get off the back wall early and go over the top. Ooh, Smashy needed that demo. He was hoping for it. Would have been a tie game had he found it. Wasn't quite supersonic. His challenge, to get around this ball in time, he's going to go wall to air dribble. Both these guys have looked really, really solid in the air. CRR is going to come for the ceiling. That 50 doesn't clear the ball out of dangerous way. Smashy doesn't have a lot of boost. He kind of needs this corner to spawn, but he's got to do it without the corner 100. CRR the clear. Smashy underneath it, but with 0. It's going to be so hard keeping this up. We saw one of the most clutch 0-second plays of all time from Smashy in this series already. Is he going to do it again? He's brought the ball all the way back to the corner. Trying to pop it over the top of CRR, but this has got to be the end, right? CRR can double touch this to the ground. I can't see a world in which Smashy gets underneath it. Man, what another good series from Smashy, but ultimately, CRR got the win. I think last time we had a good series like this from Smashy, Nupo got the win. So just barely not able to finish him out. But a great match. GG's for sure, as CRR takes it in 5.